Welcome back to Sunday Sound Off, and our first hot topic of the night. It's topical, proof that we didn't tape the show in April. Does the Melky Cabrera deal make sense for the Royals? Hey, it makes sense if they're going to bench Gordon or Moss, but I don't think they're going to do that. So where does he fit in? Frank, you're up first here. Well,
I think he's headed right to right field for Jorge Bonifacio. I think he's going to start in right field as soon as they hit Baltimore tomorrow or today. Tomorrow, yeah. Today, tomorrow, I forget. You know, when you're retired, stuff like that.
It doesn't matter.
Right by, yeah. But yeah, he'll be in the lineup. I think he's going to start. He can also DH to spell some guys. So I think he's a terrific addition. He is also a former Royal, so he's going to fit beautifully into the clubhouse. I think he feels like he's died and gone to heaven. He gets off of the White Sox, and here he is all of a sudden with the Kansas City Royals on a contender. And how about David Glass, the owner, these last 2 weeks? How much money he is now spending. So I think everybody is all in for this season. They know what's going to happen next season. None of the core players are going to be back. So I think they're going all in. They're going to make one last charge at it here.
All right, every day's a Saturday for Frank.
Thank you. Yeah.
By the way, Blair, it felt like Melky was here for more than just 1 year. It was just 2011, but maybe that goes, you know, the underlying theme there is that he produced, and that's why it seemed like he was here longer.
201 hits, as I recall, that season, and over 100 runs scored on a really good offensive team for the Royals that year. And yeah, they did throw some money at this, but not a great deal. I mean, the White Sox are helping out financially. I think the Royals are going to pick up $2.5 million of Cabrera's salary this year. He's going to bat second, so he is going to play right field and bat second. I think Bonifacio is going to probably lose more at bats and playing time because of this. But Frank's right. I mean, we'll see him at DH. We'll see him in left field sometimes for Gordon. And I think this is a move that makes absolute sense for the Royals. They took care of pitching last week. I was gone last week, turned on the game Saturday night, and saw half the Padres staff throwing for the Royals. And where'd this come from? But so he took care of pitching last week. They took care of hitting today, and yeah, the Royals are all in. And I think this is a terrific move for the Royals.
What say you, Soren? Is he just going to take over Bonifacio's job because you have Cabrera, Gordon, Moss, and Bonifacio, or do you just maybe rotate those four guys through three chairs?
Well, first of all, does anybody remember why he was only here for a year? Do you remember the deal that sent him out? Jonathan Sanchez.
Sanchez, yes.
The Royals had to go get Jonathan Sanchez, which, of course, they would flip for Jeremy Guthrie, and it ended up working out okay in the long run. But that's one little nugget that no one's really talking about is how they kind of gave him away. That was the discussion back then when he was sent away. And a lot of people, he was one of the guys that, because he was traded, look, this is another reason why the general manager doesn't know what he's doing, because he gave away a really productive outfielder, Melky Cabrera, for a pitcher that's terrible. And wow, look how different it looks right now. Yeah, this is the perfect fit. Where's he going to fit in? I don't know. I don't know that the Royals really know, and I don't think they have to know right now. He gives them another legitimate bat, and he could fit into any one of those spots. If Alex Gordon doesn't get hitting, he can play left field. If they want him in right, he can play there. He can be part of the DH mix. I think this just gives them great depth when you think about what their lineup's going to be the rest of the way. If they have an injury, remember Ben Zobrist was brought in to play second base, and what happened? Alex Gordon went down, and he spent a lot of time in left field before finally getting back over to second base once Alex Gordon came back in 2015. So, you know, we don't know what's going to happen. They got better. That's the bottom line. They're going for it now. I like what Frank said. David Glass spending money and the ball club getting better. Good for them.
All right, our second hot topic of the evening, division or wild card. What's going to be the easier route to the playoffs for the Kansas City Royals? One hot team to overtake in the division, multiple teams to battle it out in the wild card, but there's two spots there, Blair, which is the easier path, I guess.
Two spots, and of course the Royals are one of them right now, and only I think a half game behind, right? The Red Sox in the wild card chase right now. So look, the easy answer is you want the division, right? You absolutely want to be the division champ. You don't want to, you're going to roll the dice with the wild card game, even though it worked out for the Royals last time. We can ask some other teams how well this wild card game has worked out for them. Not so much. The Pittsburgh Pirates, by the way, have lost a couple of wild card games over the years.
So Houston.
No, I think that this is it's division for the Royals, and I think they've got the team to do it with the moves that they've made this past week. One thing's a little concerning to me, the Indians and the Royals seem to have about the same schedule left, but the Royals have games against, you look at the NL, they got games against the Diamondbacks and the Rockies coming up, and I believe Cleveland is finished with the Diamondbacks. So Cleveland may have a little bit easier schedule coming home.
Saran, obviously you always have your sights set on the division,
right?
But will they catch the Indians?
I think they will. I do like this club. I think they've got a lot of momentum. They're pouring everything into it. They had a bigger payroll coming in, which, trust me, I was on a Cleveland station with my buddy Munch Bishop in Cleveland, and the fans were talking about, I mentioned that the Royals had a $150 million payroll, and they're going, wait a minute, why don't the Indians? I think the Royals players certainly appreciate what the Glass family has done and what Dayton Moore has done, and I think that gives them a lot of chemistry and a lot of fire, and I do think they'll win the division. I think they've got enough now to go beat the Cleveland Indians. But, that being said, which is easier? It's easier to get to the wild card because the Indians are really good, and I think both these teams are going to be in the postseason. That's one thing that I think is going to happen. I think for a long time, a lot of people thought maybe there were going to be 3 from the American League East. I don't think so. I think both the Royals and Indians are going, so whoever loses this division is going to be the wild card. But I like the chemistry that the Royals have, and I think they've got all the bullets they need to go take it down.
And Frank, you're a Western PA guy. What do you think of Cleveland?
Mick, Cleveland's in Ohio. I didn't know if you figured that out.
They touched, though. Did you not know?
I'm only kidding. Yeah. Okay. Here's my deal with the Royals. Everybody in division, American League Central, has thrown a towel except the Royals. Chicago White Sox are even trading players to the Royals. Detroit's out of it. Minnesota's out of it. They're trading people away. So it's down to Cleveland and Kansas City. They play 10 times before the end of the season. It's going to come down to those series, or that series of games between these two teams. And I think the Royals only play 4 teams now. The rest of the year who have a winning record. So I think the Royals have a pretty favorable schedule. I think Cleveland has basically the same schedule. So I really think it's going to come down to those 10 games between these two teams to see who wins. I'd much rather see them win the American League Central and go that route instead of trying to battle for that wild card.
Quickly here, guys, our final hot topic. Are you bothered by Michael Vick being at Chiefs camp? Saran, he played for Andy Reid. Now, Big Red has invited him to Kansas City. Or is he St. Joe in camp?
Yeah, I'm bothered by him holding a clipboard and not wearing a helmet. The quarterback position, I'll touch on this maybe a little bit later on, is one of those spots that, for whatever reason, teams just become absolute bold-faced liars and get all freaked out by what they're going to do at that position. Joel Stave is better than Mike Vick. 37-year-old Mike Vick will be better than Joel Stave. 47-year-old Mike Vick will be better than Joel Stave. So, look, do I have a problem with it being there? No, look, a lot of people do. The man paid his debt to society, literally paid it over there in Leavenworth. And no, he has a right to go on living his life and trying to make a living. And if the Chiefs want to employ him, I have no problem with it.
What if Vick got older and Stave stayed the same age? Still Vick?
Still Vick.
Still Vick, okay. Frank, by all accounts, the players love Vick, and he seems to be, according to Andy Reid, a natural at coaching.
Yeah, I have no problem. He spent 21 months, like Saran said, up in Leavenworth. He has basically reorganized his life and has rededicated his life to paying back all the debts that he left behind in his wake after all the dogfighting situation for him. And it was terrible what he did, what his friends did, how they treated those dogs. But I think he has paid his debt. He is not hidden from it. He's come back to try to really straighten out his life. And, this country's the kind of country that's going to give somebody a second chance. So I have absolutely no problem with him being here.
And Blair, you have the last say on this topic.
I know the Kansas City Star came out with an editorial that was, a well-reasoned editorial that was against this move that Chiefs hiring Michael Vick. And, I absolutely understand that perspective. I'm not a dog owner, but I understand that perspective. But, Michael Vick, we all talked about how he's paying his debt. He's paying his debt by actually representing the Humane Society in public speaking engagements. And he's kind of he really has, I think, amended and deserves this opportunity, deserves any opportunity. So, yeah, I disagreed with the editorial, but understood the Star's reasoning behind it.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Up next, we've got some final thoughts from our panel here. It's their time to sound off. Even Frank, first ever final thought for you.